welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We are calling in straight after the US election with Donald J. Trump returning. We are recording this Wednesday, 2:30 p.m. and this will be out 2 days later, so I don't know if something shocking might have happened in the mid-time.
Yep, unlikely.
How are you feeling about the results, Andrew?
Four more years. Let's get him for 3 terms, is what I say. Yeah, surprised. I mean, was it as close as the pollsters were saying? Was it?
You owe me 10 quid.
I do owe you £10, so I'll be transferring you.
Yeah, a lot of people called it for Kamala. I did see it written in the stars. It's kind of
the thing with these kind of bets is neither of us really know what the fuck's going on, do we? It's just this kind of echo chamber. But no, I mean, it was like polls never seem to know what they're doing at all nowadays, do they?
Well, we were talking about this before, me and you, Charlie, weren't we?
Yeah.
I was saying,
Charlie.
Hi.
I think they just seemingly polls just consistently estimate populism, because before they used to work.
Yeah,
Trump they got wrong, Brexit they've got wrong, you know. Because they even go on.
Is it possible that the polls are all run by kind of snobs that will look down on the idiotic flock of the people and be like them?
and when people say I'm going to vote for Trump, they're just like, nah,
yeah, you wouldn't do that. You know what you're talking about.
How to vote, do you fucking moron?
Maybe that's the problem, because they always seem, literally anytime since I've known what a poll is, which is quite recent.
What kind?
Any poll.
Telephone poll.
All of the kind of votey polls.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever been asked?
No one's ever asked me.
And I don't know anyone who's ever been asked what they think for a poll. That's what my conspiracy is I don't know where they get this information from. Seems like I've never met anyone who's ever been polled ever.
That's true.
Like, who are these people? Is it door to door? Is it an online survey?
I don't know.
Also, why did you have the Ming Dynasty up for while we were talking about the Trump election?
Because I heard that he's buttering up his daughter, Ivanka. One of them.
Yeah.
So
here we go.
She's taken a step back, apparently, this election in case he lost, so she wouldn't be associated with the loss. But apparently she is going to try and be the next him. So it might become
So you're thinking the next Ming Dynasty?
The next Ming Dynasty might be Trump.
And
could have gone with like the Kennedys or something.
What did you know about the Ming Dynasty? Was the only thing you knew about the Ming Dynasty that it was a dynasty?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was in China.
Yeah.
That's
so
what I know.
you thought Trump's going to be a dynasty. Go to the first dynasty I know, the Ming Dynasty.
I only really know this one.
Yeah.
What have you found out from the Google?
I found that it was a Chinese dynasty that ruled from 1368 to 1644, and the capital was originally Nanjing, but that changed over some time.
Well, it looks like Trump's the new Ming Dynasty.
Yep, you heard it here first.
That's our take straight off the back of the election.
Make sure you put that screenshot up
I'm going to clip that.
I don't know. I've never been polled. I presume it's online nowadays, but you've got to keep it random, haven't you?
Well, maybe it's biased. Isn't it not potentially just biased immediately?
Yeah.
If you sign up for a poll, then you're already
Exactly.
You're one of the weird ones.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Polls are my gripe of the week, I suppose. What are we meant to do with them? You know, I think there needs to be a big shake-up in the polling industry.
Yeah. How do you feel now the election? What did you feel when you saw it?
It's not as like, the first one was like, wow, shit, we're letting maniacs in. This one's like, all right.
But now they got the fucking it's like the Dr. Evil squad now. This team he's assembled is like, it is like a heist team of fucking sickos.
With?
Health Secretary. My name's RFK Jr. You know, you got Elon Musk fucking doing lopsided star jumps, most powerful man in the world at the moment.
Yeah.
You know. Who else you got? You got Vivek. Who else is in the team?
Well, behind him,
Dana White.
Well, for clarity, Elon Musk and Dana White aren't going to be in his cabinet.
Yeah,
but they're all behind him. It's the weirdest thing about his acceptance speech was absolutely fucking mental.
I didn't see that
because I woke up just as he was doing it, so that was handy. And just rambling. I mean, he always rambles, but you'd think you'd have an acceptance speech prepared to kind of inspire the nation or something. It's just absolute nonsense. It's quite fun to listen to it live, because you see clips and you think, well, that must be, somewhat taken out of perspective on it, and it's just he's rambled for a bit. he never stopped. He was like 40 minutes he was on the TV, just bringing up various people, talking about random people who weren't there.
But then he goes off the dome and he can do like 2-hour sessions sometimes. And
I don't think it really counts.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I can do a 2-hour session like that.
Just talking
by
shit.
just naming people in the crowd, talking about vague things that have happened to him recently.
Yeah.
There's very vague messages. It was weird to hear Theo Von's name be mentioned in a presidential.
What was he saying about Theo Von?
He just said
thank you.
Yeah, Theo, I think, did he overtly? I think maybe Dana White did. I'm not sure if it was him or Dana White. But yeah, but even Dana White speaking at the event. Then Bryson DeChambeau, the golfer, came up.
Yep.
It's like, what are we doing? I kind of understand all that when it's the election happening and you're trying to get votes, but you've won. You don't need to bring up Bryson DeChambeau. Keep him on the golf course is what I've said. I've always said that.
You got any big scary predictions for the Trump presidency?
I don't know any of these people. I was at the cabinet.
The actual cabinet, yeah.
All right. I've heard of McGregor, I think. Pretty mental, the severity of the landslide. I heard a lot of people, apparently it's all about the economics, really.
Yeah.
Economics and democracy were the two biggest reasons why people voted how they voted, which I think is probably...
But which way did they vote? Democracy? Wait, for people for Trump?
So basically, they did an exit poll. When people come out, they were like, what was your primary issue of why you chose, how you chose today, basically?
Yeah, I guess it feels like the election, it's resoundingly, it was more like how much America doesn't like just pussies or like pussy policies.
They really don't like pussies.
And I think it was like the Democrats were saying, he's a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
And to them, that's like pussy.
Yeah.
And he's like, your veg is more expensive now.
Yeah. Well, which is kind of fair.
Yeah.
Because when you get down to it, a lot of people vote for, I want less expensive veg.
Yeah.
I don't really care about all of this stuff you're banging on about. But I think because it's weird, elections are always weird because a lot of people are worse off after, thank you. A lot of people, we'll finish the coverage there. Yeah. A lot of people are worse off after Biden's presidency, but he's actually kind of got it in going in the right direction.
I thought so. I thought there was thinking about Bidenomics.
Yeah, but it's like he's improved the trend, but the trend's still shit.
Yeah.
So it's hard because a lot of people, blame global issues on national individuals.
Yeah.
Which is, compromise, but you got to do it at some point. And most people are saying, I'm worse off under Biden, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's go with Big Daddy.
I think the main thing is it's just most people just don't care about the shit you think they care about.
Yeah.
That's kind of the resounding thing.
Like freedom of speech.
Just any of that stuff. No one gives a fuck. All this stuff that you think is going to absolutely shock people. He's undermining institutions. He's a rapist. He's a racist. Da, da, da.
Well, I think, to be honest, the ship has sailed, really. I think once he gets voted in once, then the office, anyone can really get voted in. Because, it didn't go to absolute dog shit the first time he was
As
in.
It
wasn't
would be.
a cataclysmic disaster.
Yeah.
But a lot of steps back were taken for progressive ideas. But, when they let a madman in...
Most of the disastrous
house
shit
stayed just about intact. It wasn't unbelievable. So now people were like, well, it doesn't really matter who we let in as long as...
January 6th was bad, but then January 6th, the fallout to that wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as anyone thinks. It was just kind of like, it was autistic guys walking around the House of Representatives.
Like big hats. Go and look at that. Yeah, but...
That was my favourite thing about January 6th is when they got in and it was like, well...
Yeah.
I don't really know.
They're just wondering about...
I don't really know what we do now. Do we now... Because it's like they're thinking they're going to the driving seat of the country.
Yeah.
But there's not really a steering wheel.
To press. Reduce taxes. Yeah. Well, I think it is... I think kind of the most shocking thing is how not shocking this is. Well, just because it's happened before. And it's now just populism sweeping
But now
the
he's
world.
got it this time. It's not a fluke. It's they know exactly what it's like having a Trump presidency and they want more of it.
They want more of it.
We want more.
What are you going to say?
And he won the popular vote. So it's like...
Is that confirmed now?
Don't think so, but I think he will do, for sure. Why did Capitol rioters defecate and urinate all over the place?
I didn't see much pooping and peeing on my end. I wasn't there.
He's a fundamental threat to democracy. He is literally pooping in the... He's instigating a mass defecation in the House of Representatives.
It's not great. The House of Representatives.
It's not great.
Would someone please address the poop during the Capitol?
Someone talk about the poop. I was part of me, the dark side of me.
Yeah.
Was disappointed.
Dark
Cohen out to play.
Shadow Cohen.
Can you put a dark filter over this now?
Sure.
I was disappointed that he won because because the fact he didn't lose, and therefore there might be like some more riots or something, or like another mad shit happening. I know it's terrible.
No, but that's a big part of you. It's part of me as well, but it's especially part of you is that you do want the drama.
I want the drama.
Yeah, like when we were talking.
I think
it was one of the more honest things you said is when we found out that a headmaster, a headmistress's husband killed her and their children and then killed himself. And we were like, I wish I was at that school. Can you
imagine the assembly the next morning? You'd be
your headmaster getting murdered suicide by their spouse.
The school day would zip by. You're not worried. You're not worried about like double maths at the end of the day. Ticker. That's fucking huge. Look, it's an awful thing, absolutely. And I think my desire for drama is gonna like lead me up to the point of being killed because like something will be happening. So it'll be because this.
You want to be right up there,
America's far away. I'm like, that's all right, but I want it closer.
You're a voyeur.
Yeah. But I think I don't know where that actually stops. Because I think it'll be happening to me and I'll be like, this is amazing. And then it won't be.
You could be, sending money to get bespoke sort of crises made for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a possibility.
I think I'm excited. I guess people who listen to the podcast knows that I do have a soft spot for RFK Jr. So I am excited to see what health stuff he's going to do. I mean, he's talking about taking. Yeah, that's been there for
a while.
Yeah, you can have some of this if you'd like.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll have a splash.
He's saying he's going to take out the fluoride from the water. Right?
Look, many have tried.
I don't know. I don't know enough to know who's talking shit.
You know Dr. Doofenshmirtz?
Yeah, I know Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
I reckon he'll get him involved.
I know that one of the greatest guys. The scientific community hate him.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz is going to get the fluoride out of the water. Or like any kind of cartoon villain with like a big machine. Do you know what I mean?
So I guess this kind of sums up how confusing it is in politics right now. I don't know enough to know who's lying to me.
Yeah.
Or who's spilling
100%.
shit. Because he's saying, get the fluoride out of the water because I don't know, it's making us all gay or whatever he's saying. Yeah. And then like the lib centrist cucks are like, fluoride is what's keeping our teeth healthy.
Yeah.
And if you take it out, our teeth would rot.
Wasn't it? Can you look this up, Charlie, please?
Yeah, it's so funny, like just leaning back. As soon as we talk about something we wanted.
Something we're both going, I'm not quite sure of this. Can you look up why it was... I don't know if I've made this up. What's the controversy that it was introduced just into the water supply to improve people's dental health without any kind of...
Yeah, I don't, once again, I don't know enough at all to say anything of value on this.
Can you tell me?
We're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Again, it's not the best Google. It's not the finest Google. Fluoride controversy teeth. Why is fluoride in the water? I'm pretty sure that's why, because it was controversial that you can't just, put shit in the water supply without consulting people.
Yeah.
But then I think it is good for your teeth because there's fluoride. I've had the same fluoride confusion because I'm in the toothpaste aisle.
You're in the toothpaste aisle?
I'm in the toothpaste aisle.
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
There isn't just one aisle in my supermarket dedicated to toothpaste.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something to talk about. So I'm in the toothpaste aisle and I'm looking at toothpaste and I'm seeing fluoride and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should I have that? I guess I should.
Yeah, because they're big on fluoride. That's like a big selling point.
So surely it is. Surely it's good for your teeth, but it might be bad for other things.
Yeah.
I just recently bought an electric toothbrush.
Adding fluoride to prevent tooth decay. What's bad about fluoride though?
Yeah.
Let's work that out.
So is RFK taking it out?
He's trying to get rid of it. I'm going to get rid of the water and then you can be as healthy as me.
It is good we're going to see some more RFK.
Yeah. He's a personal favourite of mine.
Dental, skeletal fluorosis, brain and nerve cells, bad stuff there. Dental fluorosis. It doesn't sound like the worst thing. Weakening bones, caused by fluoride.
So, I guess it's a pros and cons. Well, maybe it should be a referendum, like a Brexit referendum.
Yeah, a lot more boring.
Yeah. It's like a yes or no.
Yeah.
There's the fluoride. Well, it's more like it's big teeth versus big skeletal function.
Well, what would you prefer? Us to have no teeth or no bones?
Well, you've got more bones.
No teeth. We can't move around with no bones. Let's...
Yeah.
Or weak teeth or weak bones.
Yeah.
I prefer to have weak teeth.
I'd prefer to have weak teeth.
You can live without teeth. Loads of people do.
Or just get
fake
fake
teeth. You should see my family. A few of them do actually suffer from dental problems.
Yeah, so I'm just interested to see what fucking batshit stuff he's going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard a good analysis. Obviously, it's not mine. On the
Is that a little footnote?
Yeah, obviously, because it's going to be actually insightful potentially. It seems like the big move is like from the Obama years, where it was like basically Democrats are going to win because there's a more diverse country. If we put people who represent diverse communities, people will vote for them. I think this is what's shown is that people don't really care that much about representation anymore. Like that's actually not that big a thing.
Yeah,
People care more about being a fucking pussy or not.
Yeah, I think it's probably the failure of this kind of wokeified left-wing politics a bit, that people are actually, there's, you can talk about this, a lot of this stuff, but how's it going to materially affect me? Because I think a big reason why he won, which is ironic given this whole Tony Hinchcliffe thing, is because the Latino men voted for Trump this time.
Yeah.
I think previously they'd voted for Biden over Trump, but now he got the Latino men in, which I think why they were freaking out so much about Tony's comments. Because it was like, this is going to win us the election. And he's gone and said.
My ideal scenario was Trump losing just because of Tony Hinchcliffe's comments. That was like number one of all possible ones. That was by far the most. If Hinchcliffe had, I don't know, historical ramifications.
Yeah.
That would be my dream.
It was one of my first thoughts. I'm waiting for the Kill Tony episode where he addresses it, of course, because I think they tape like 4 weeks ahead.
Yeah.
But he needs to be knocked down. He needs to be taken off his pedestal so much.
Yeah.
And like, it would have just been the most perfect thing if he lost the.
But now he's going to come in on a pile of garbage.
Exactly. And it's going to be his catchphrase.
It's unreal. Yeah. It's going to have merch.
Yeah. Literally. I would be so surprised if the first joke he makes on Kill Tony isn't something about floating a pile of garbage. But
yeah, you heard it here first. Would you say that's Boys Gone Wild's election coverage?
No.
You got something more?
I feel like we should do some more on old Trumpy titty wank Trump. What is there?
What about his son? What about the youngest?
The tall one?
No, Barron.
Did you see how tall he is?
He's very tall.
Yeah. He freaks
he's
me
part
out
of the Ming
most.
Dynasty now.
Yeah, he freaks me out more than all of them.
Yeah.
Because he's enormous and silent.
That's true. He's the silent killer.
That is a brutal combo, enormous and silent.
Yeah, but he's just like, he's tall, isn't he?
Because you can be loudly in a room if you're massive, but if you're not saying anything,
it's almost more scary.
Yeah.
He is fucking huge. What are they feeding him? I mean, they're all quite big, the Trumps.
Yeah. How tall is he?
But I do think the Ming Dynasty comment was prescient, though, because I do see a lot of these Trumps going into power and just popping up consistently.
It makes sense.
Like the Kennedys, like the Clintons.
Hell. He's massive as well.
Apparently he wears lifts on his shoes to be even more massive. Double whammy it.
I mean, why not?
Why not? I mean, I've always talked about my love of stilts.
Yeah.
And I think, because I feel 7'5", does that start to undermine your power?
Yeah.
Do you think?
Gangly.
Yeah, I guess
freak.
So.
You don't want to enter into freak.
You want to be imposing, but like, imagine I'm 7'5" and I meet Putin. Like Putin literally looks.
But are you
like
wearing?
A hobbit. I'm wearing. Yeah, obviously I'm wearing stilts.
Because I think the thing that you gain, the kind of posture that you gain from the height, is lost with the fact that you're wearing stilts.
What, the fact that my legs are shaking?
Yeah, wobbling about, walking to the table, like, because you got to hold on to stilts, don't you?
Yeah.
So you can't. Your hands aren't free; they're under your suit.
Yeah, or I do the hand stilts that they do when they do the green screen stuff, work for Planet of the Apes. You know, I'm wearing a morph suit. And
so do you go around with a projector in front of you that then CGI's the green, what you're doing on there? What happens
is, at my rallies, there's kind of like quite badly done CGI that keeps dropping in and out every time I move too quickly. So I gallop to stage.
Right.
Because I think my shtick would be I'm the ape guy.
Yeah. Like Monkey Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Free bananas. I'm nationalising bananas.
Yeah. We've never seen anyone run on the kind of the Planet of the Apes kind of platform before. Nationalise bananas or nationalise the banana industry.
But like really
way
aggressively.
More parks.
But I'm doing it with like a sort of Hitler-esque
We're going to plant
passion.
1 billion more trees. I can't think of anything else that apes do other than eat bananas and climb up trees.
I guess open street defecation is legal.
Yeah, you can throw poo at anyone. Any more banana? Not
I really
monkey
don't know
facts?
how
I don't know much about
Making
monkeys.
love. They make love.
Yeah,
What, sex is legal? Thanks, Charlie. Fucking hell.
Well, you can
they like to bang on their bums.
You can fuck monkeys. I guess.
You can fuck monkeys. Well, that's an interesting question. Is he a monkey himself, or does he want humans to be more like monkeys?
I guess actually it's me. So don't ask him. It's me.
Apologies.
It's me.
What's your name in this?
Well, my name's Horatio.
What are you running on, Horatio Gould?
No, I am using a character.
Nigel Monkey.
Horatio?
Too much rape.
Horatio.
You didn't see the problem with that?
I did not take care of
Horatio. It's got to be Horatio.
My name is Horatio.
Horatio sapien.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, because that's a human. That's
Yeah.
playing on the humanness of me. I'm trying to get away from
You're trying to get away from human. Your thing is like, what if we just went back to being monkeys?
Well, I gallop on, and it's got like the CGI, but if I move too quickly, I'm immediately in a morph suit with loads of tennis balls.
Get behind the screen. And then your Secret Service is just pushing you behind the screen.
Well, they're in morph suits as well. It's
Morph suits?
Yeah, well, yeah, they're all so.
They're all monkeys as well.
But some of them like gorillas, they're like the big ones.
This could actually function.
What if you could be hair ratio? If you were like a really hairy chimp.
You know what? I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Horatio.
Hairish, yeah.
It's either Horatio or Horatio.
I think
Nigel
with the
Monkey.
kind of platform I'm running on, I don't want to focus on. I don't know. That feels a bit reductive for my monkey platform.
You want your policies to be taken seriously.
I just want to. It's more dignity for monkeys and representatives. I want to get the monkey vote.
By the way, Charlie's just scrolling through types of monkeys. It's not handy. Well, this could actually function as pretty horrible, boring satire.
Go
in
on.
that. You could be one of the joke candidates because it's like, make America great again. It's like, what? You go back to monkeys,
Oh, that's good.
Someone
What
could
is
use
that?
that.
What I'd.
Yeah, that's you're running ironically.
Well, I could say make America great
Monkeys
again, and then it's going backwards through the evolutionary thing.
Exactly.
So it's the evolutionary thing, but everyone's just turned the other way.
And the apex is where, turning back into monkeys. Yeah, when the apex is where we were apes, it wasn't when we were humans.
Yeah.
I've had something to say, but I've forgotten it. I've got a cold.
Do ya?
Yeah. Well, I can you hear it?
Yeah.
It's a nice one. About a week ago, I said, I kind of fancy an illness, like a low-level illness.
To lose responsibility of having a good time.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Having a good time, being a bit like, one of the
guys.
biggest effects I have for seasonal change. You got a hint of depression, but a lot of it's laziness. I just can't be fucked to do anything. So at this time,
You want to be snug in a rug.
I want to be snug in a rug. I want to be bugging it up in my rug, snug as a bug. And it coincided with one of the great listeners sending us Call of Duty download codes.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing it.
Is it good?
Yeah, I like it.
Are you saying that because you want to
I want more.
support?
I always enjoy. I just play the campaign and then leave because I get scared playing against all the kids online.
Well, yeah. As we talked about before, this is what you want from games. You want your main character. You want to be the
best
hero.
shooter in the world. I don't want to.
You get confronted with one other player,
Who's
you
better?
realise.
You're like, well, the illusion shattered. that's over for me. Thanks. I can't lose myself if I'm like, oh, I'm shit at this too. It doesn't really fucking work, does it? So I like doing the campaigns where I am the best shooter that's ever lived.
Yeah.
And then I take it really
quickest gun in the
seriously.
West.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a fun campaign for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like whatever. I'm not going to go too deep into it. But in fairness, it was a pretty terrible bug on it that I got like halfway through and then it just deleted all of my progress. So
That's a bad bug.
it's a really bad one, particularly when that's all I'm there for. So I've just had to go back and do it all again. So that was pretty bleak.
But maybe it's like a kind of, like the Karate Kid where the teacher, repetition.
Yeah.
But why am I... This is not even important.
I was better on my... But
Not
I knew where
only once you have failed.
I knew
A million times will you know the truth about...
I'll let you take that one. I was just kind of ad-libbing. Like, I was just repeating what you said.
This is the truth.
Yeah, brain is on fire today. Enjoyed it. Great fun. Shout out to the guy that did that.
Yeah.
Please keep doing it.
Well, do you...
Have you not
what do you think
downloaded
about
it yet?
I haven't downloaded it yet.
You should.
I've been, I'm working on multiple time zones at the moment. I've got a lot of stuff to close up, but
Yeah.
maybe when my schedule clears up in a couple of years, I might.
Yeah, great. Thanks for that. Maybe you should get a cold as well. They're quite handy to clear your schedule.
Yeah.
But
If I can get that allotted, I'll see if I can spend some time doing that.
Yeah.
But probably won't for a while.
The most poorly organised man I know. Late for everything.
What I was saying something. Oh yeah.
Call of Duty.
So it's actually more about the seasonal change. Now, what do you think about? I guess when it starts to get colder, people have a different ways of reacting to coziness, right? And I feel there's kind of cozy cringe. Would you not agree?
Completely.
Where there's people who it upsets me how cozy they're getting, or how much they're enjoying how cozy they are. And
I hate to give it to you.
Getting cozy.
I hate to give it to you. I got goosebumps.
Now this is cozy core right now.
Yeah.
It's got a bit colder. I'm wearing a sort of academic-y...
It's classy clothes.
Yeah, it's
classy cozy.
It's playing that line towards cozy cringe.
It's a bit autumnal fuckboy.
Definitely.
Like shoving...
They come out, as I've said...
Shoving your dick in trees.
As I've said many times on this podcast, you can check it, right?
Yeah.
I'm at my most powerful in autumn. Autumn's my season. I've said this many times. Summer, I'm at my weakest.
Yeah.
I'm at the bottom of the social hierarchy. My legs
Mostly
are out.
just because you have to wear shorts.
And I'm caked in sun cream.
Yeah.
I'm hay fever, sneezing. I look dreadful. I've got a bad summer wardrobe. I don't really know how to dress for summer. I still haven't worked it out. Once the layers come in,
Yeah.
then you have some burnt orange frames.
Sure.
Suddenly, all these hunks in summer,
Yeah.
with their beefy biceps,
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't know they're not getting the bitches that I'm getting.
No, they
in
can't.
a coffee shop with a book.
It's true.
I'm reading Sally Rooney in a fucking cafe.
Yeah.
You
are actually really Sally Rooney as well, aren't you?
Well, I'm struggling through it. Fucking.
We'll get onto that.
But that's when I really come into my element, right? As we said about the fight. I mean, we reference Avatar every episode, but the summer solstice when the Fire Nation are most powerful. That's what I have around mid-autumn.
I'm on that episode right now. I don't think I'm very good at summer. I just rewatch Avatar and get cold.
Do you don't really have a season where you're most powerful. You don't view life through those terms.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
This podcast is mostly about me
But it
slowly
doesn't feel like
understanding.
you're most powerful,
No.
seeing as you're trying to get ill and retreating from the world.
Yeah. Now,
You
I
become
think
an
I've worked it out.
isolationist,
I
right?
think I've worked it out. I think particularly in the maybe not from spring to summer,
Yeah.
but any season change confuses me. And I think this is because I don't understand what they are.
Yeah.
So I'm not necessarily good I'm average in all the seasons.
Fine.
But it's at the start, I get strongest towards the end of the season.
Once I've
settled into it.
Once you've locked in.
The first 2 weeks of the new season,
Disorientating.
I
It's
don't
a
know what's going
flashbang.
on. It is. Oh, ding! A flashbang in Call of Duty Black Ops 6.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I'm getting my... Oh, I thought you said in a...
No, I was actually referencing another Call of Duty flashbang.
I'm just trying to get a money's worth from that. But yeah, I think I get confused.
Yeah.
Particularly when it starts getting dark, I just can't be bothered to do anything. I get into a real let's hibernate and kind of bring my nuts into my cave.
Back to the coziness point though. So Charlie, would you say you're a big kind of like
hot water bottle, hockey chocky?
Cozy,
Let's watch some Disney films.
I'm
I think there's a right way to play it because you don't want to be someone who doesn't at all get cozy. But
It's hard to not get cozy at any point in your life.
It's true, but there's some people who maybe
bring it too much.
I guess what is getting cozy? I guess it's not only dressing warmer, but your clothes being softer. I don't think it's necessarily that cozy if
Woolly.
you're wearing like a sweatshirt.
No.
You need it to be
Woolly. Fat, big,
Yeah.
puffy.
I don't feel like it affects any. The only thing that really changes in my behavior is I have a lot of baths in the dark in winter.
How dark?
Like turn all the lights off and hide them.
candles?
It's like a kind of cave set up that I.
Is that cozy?
It is
No,
really
it's
cozy.
psychopathic.
No, that's not cozy.
candles.
There's this lovely green. I've got a kind of shower unit and it has a luminous green, and then it kind of lets out this green, quite
Light.
faint hue into the room, but there's no other light.
And that's the only source of light.
So it's like I'm in my little kind of nuclear
Well, it feels
So
like
Charlie
you're
deals
like,
with the season change very poorly.
Yeah, it feels like you're like I don't know, like the arch villain who hasn't gained full strength yet
But loads of
in a
bubbles.
film. Do you know what I mean?
He's a bit like the Baron in June in that big black pool.
Yeah. Or even like Sauron in Lord of the Rings. You're just like kind of, and then your minions are trying to bring you back. Voldemort,
when he's a baby.
It's a real trope.
And people
I've
come
just
in.
realised.
My housemates didn't realise that I do that, and then they kind of came in and were like, "What is going on in here?" Because all the lights are off. And they're like,
What did you say?
I'm in the bath.
yeah, I just said I'm in the bar.
There's not much you can say with that, to be honest. Yeah, fair
You
enough.
painted the scene vividly there.
Yeah. No, that's the only thing that changes for me. Just much more dark baths.
Yeah,
Dark baths.
that was a bit of a bleak Charlie corner.
You all right? We won't come back to you for about 5 minutes at least.
I think part of the problem with coziness is when it becomes your personality. I think that's the same for most things in the world. You know, you can have a little bit of everything. Just don't make one thing your whole thing.
This is cozy cringe.
Yeah, obviously.
When a man disappears into his sleeves,
And that's never acceptable.
you have to.
You buy it. Yeah, that's
less cozy cringe, but it is something. And
that could be okay in some contexts. Not if you're just walking about. But if you're watching fireworks, I'd allow it.
I guess that leaning into coziness as well is making yourself look less threatening.
Yeah.
Right. And I think it's more like, what are you trying to get from me? Right. That's what I feel sometimes when men lean into coziness.
What are you trying to get from me?
Yeah. What is this? What's going on here?
Is he crying out for a hug or something?
No. I mean, more you're trying to mislead me into thinking that you're not a threat.
And then will attack me.
With your giant scarf, you know, you're not fooling me.
Yeah.
Well, your housemate Adams, you know,
Yeah, he's a cozy boy.
he loves a bit of coziness.
Yeah, he fucking chirps up when it gets near Christmas. It's infuriating. Suddenly, he's all happy dappy, carving pumpkins, throwing sweets at kids, getting conker down for Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, look, my coziness. I get cozy on a Sunday. I'm never publicly cozy. I think that should be. I think that should be bad.
What's publicly cozy?
All the things we just spoke about,
fine,
like walking around with a big scarf in a market. If I'm wearing a scarf around a market, fucking kill me. Honestly, shoot me
I'm
dead.
not far off that,
I went to
I'm
a
not
market. I'm starting to enjoy markets more now that I'm getting older. They're just having a nosy. I kind of get having a nosy.
You
now.
are becoming. You're slowly. I did it a lot earlier, but becoming a white woman. I became a white woman like 3 years ago, and you're very slowly.
I'm slowly getting there. I just go to the market and buy too much cheese, really.
Yeah.
But the markets annoy me because it's like you can have a nosy, but fundamentally they're just capitalism again. It's quiet capitalism, and if that's your
what you prefer, feudalism.
I prefer feudalism. Couldn't think of another one. Could not think of another one in the allotted time. Still can't.
Pause.
Probably should be able to think of one other mercantilism. There you go. Here we go.
Well, I guess it's actually market capitalism, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know. What's the barter system?
Yeah.
Is it
I'm
capitalism?
not going and trading ham for cheese. It is capitalism.
I guess so, yeah.
But because it annoys me because I go there and I've been and it's nice. What I like is bookshops.
Okay.
I can fuck with that, but I end up buying quite a lot of books. I've bought some absolute stinkers that I've picked up.
A stinker's guide to...
A Stinker's Guide to the Universe.
I don't know.
No, bad books.
Like what?
I can't. One I literally read for 50 pages and I went, I'm not doing this. Because it was like, you know when it's like a novel about novels? Well, you know when a film's about
called?
films?
Yeah.
One, I really... You know
Was it a novel within a novel?
within a novel.
Wow.
And it was like, all right. I get it. Like, storytelling's interesting. Now tell me a story.
Was it about a story?
There was too many layers. There was...
What's the book? What
Type in parasol. The blurb was interesting. Not parasol umbrella. There's parasol and something. Just type in parasol and then novel. Parasol Against the Axe. That's it. I don't know. It tickled me. It tickled my fancy. Like, it's got a cool cover.
Okay, so it's not... Okay, right, yeah.
But it's like, what I think I realised,
Yeah.
when you get a really conceptual art housey film that's like about films, I've watched enough films to enjoy those because I'm pretentious in my films.
Sure.
When you get a book that's about a book within a book, I haven't read enough for that. I'm like,
It's above your pay grade.
It is, and I
Yeah,
need
you don't have that
you need to
security clearance.
graduate. You
Yeah.
need to graduate to that kind of level of a novel. I feel like you've got to read way more and probably better ones than I do.
Well, I'm always caught in the catch-22 where I'm a slow reader, but I also am only interested in things that are like for people who can read well.
Well, that's
Do you know
true.
what I mean? Like I can't, you know, as much as I can whiz through a Mr. Men book, but it doesn't, it just doesn't, it leaves me cold.
Where's Wally? Easy.
Because the only reason I'm reading, I don't enjoy the act of reading. I'm reading to become clever.
To learn. Yeah.
And to stop being so fucking thick all the time.
Yeah.
And it's annoying how much it works. I hate that as well. When you read a book, it sharpens your mind a little bit. Even if you're just learning about one thing, it means it's just because it's a bit hard to do.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do that, I can't read something that's not good.
There is a different...
advanced.
Yeah.
But then I don't have the ability to read advanced stuff. It's a nightmare.
I kind of agree, but I agree. I actually agree.
So it's mainly I can't focus. But then the only thing that's interesting to me are things that are really hard
tough to get. I agree. When something's like, if Adam is a big reader, but he's now changed.
He's cozy.
He's a cozy. Yeah, he's with his blanket, with his fucking scented candles. Just fuck off, mate. He has finally changed this, but he would just go to charity shops and just find random books, and they'd always be like shit novels, just novels about whatever. It's the equivalent of, I don't know, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That you just you just put on and you just read that. I can't do those ones.
My sister's a voracious reader, so she reads bad and good books.
Yeah.
In a way, I guess if you watch TV all the time, you watch good and bad TV. But I could never do that.
But what is a bad book? Oh, do you know what I mean?
There's trash. There's absolute trash.
There's trash.
There's easy trash that's comfort read.
Yeah.
And I don't.
But there's
that's
also
not why I read.
Yeah, but then there's good, like a good story's a good story at the end of the day as well. But
I guess what I'm struggling, I need to try. I'm working on a bit about this at the moment, but in general, I'm trying to avoid completely committing to non-fiction because that waits for me. That's going to be there.
And yeah,
I'm going when I pass once I give in, I will only read books about history and politics and philosophy and stuff. That's it. I'm done. So I'm trying to read books about stories and emotions while I still have a little bit of fight left in me.
Right.
But it's hard because as good as a story is, at the end of it, I'm like, one, none of that happened.
This is ridiculous.
And two, I just don't. Sometimes I'm like, what did I learn?
Well, you can learn a lot from a novel, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think you believe that.
No, I do. I just think you can learn more. I guess because I do. I watch so many films. I get a lot from those. But I guess like if I'm spending a fucking year reading a book, and it's about a fucking woman in a jumper. Then I don't.
Oh, what? She was in the jumper the whole time. Brilliant.
What are you reading?
I'm reading Fear, which is about. Every time I open it, I scream. I read quite a lot nowadays. Yeah. I'm reading Fear, which is about how it's tracing like world history through the lens of fear. It hasn't really
that's nice.
Weaponizing it, etc., and then bringing that in. And then what am I doing? I'm doing another. Woodhouse.
Jack Reacher book?
No. I've never read a Jack Reacher book. I have good taste in books.
I'm reading this. It looks really crusty.
Robert Sheen?
Yeah, so he's basically he's done a meditation book.
Right. That looks fucking shit.
Yeah, my friend.
Well, the bloke from Misfits.
Yeah, because my theory
that looks fucking shit.
It looks very charming.
Listen.
I'm not saying that's shit. I'm just saying.
My thinking is if he can do it, then
what?
So can I. Meditate.
Oh,
now, to me, I'm like...
It's the crustiest looking book.
Why do you think Robert Sheen couldn't meditate?
He's a nutter.
If you're not reading that much, if I'm reading a book, it needs to be like... If I'm putting all that work into it, it needs to be fucking written by someone who is smarter than me, at least.
Yeah. I think the balance is somewhere between the two of you. I think you take far too much detail and thought about this has to change my life in some way, whereas you clearly don't care at all.
That looks like the cover was made on Canva.
I feel like you can learn meditation from better masters than Robert Sheen.
No, but that's the point, though.
That's the point.
The point is because he's clearly like if he's achieved peace. And he's obviously not a kind of man of the mountains.
Well, it's sort of like I'm thick and I got rich book.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's that sort of the shtick, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I'm a regular Joe and I'm a millionaire.
Yeah.
Here's how you can do that as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm spiritually bankrupt and I'm at one with the universe. Here's how you can do it.
Whoa.
I mean, he's also an actor who hasn't worked for a little bit, so you have to come up with...
He's working.
What's he doing?
Umbrella Academy. Ever heard of it? No. Yeah, it's a bad Netflix series. But he's working. I think a new one just came out. I see him a lot.
Good for him. Good for Robert Sheehan. I feel
was great in Misfits.
I've been too harsh on Robert Sheehan. He seems like a fine bloke, but I wouldn't read that in a million years.
No. Nor would I. if I'm honest. If I'm looking for musings on meditations, I think there's a lot more out there than Robert Sheen.
The Buddha.
Whoa.
Perchance.
Perchance, per se?
Why not read a book by the Buddha?
I've tried though. They're not accessible. They're not accessible.
Well, that's fair enough then.
You haven't read all of Buddha's books?
They're all just like, there's this one where it's like Eckhart Tolle. You know that guy?
Yeah.
He's got one. It's just fucking like, I was really depressed sitting in my room, and then one day I woke up and
Sitting in a bar for the dark,
one day I woke up and I was delighted, and I just sit in the park beaming. It's like, this is bollocks. I can't tap into this, but I can tap into
Robert Sheen.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
You found your niche.
Yeah, to be fair, you sold it to me as well.
Any vehicle in, you get it. You get the fuck in there.
But your reaction is exactly the same as of anyone I've shown. They're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
It's not one that you could, I don't know, I'd smugly read on the train. Do you know what I mean? Like, I always feel smug reading a book on the train, but I don't know if I'd take the cover off that.
Yeah. I think I'd be interested. I'd definitely be interested in the guy reading it. I think
that's different.
Okay?
Yeah, that'd be different. Yeah.
No, but I think he'd be fun to hang out with if I saw someone reading that.
Yeah. Okay.
It suggests a certain level of intelligence, but doesn't take themselves too seriously. For me.
Yeah.
And there you go.
That's fair enough.
A good tip I've realised with reading, because I had a big old break, and that's because I just got stuck on a book that I wasn't enjoying, but felt like I needed to finish it. If you don't like it, don't finish it. Put it down.
That's good.
That's the best way to do it.
Maybe what I need to hear. But
don't like it, put it down, start on the next one. If you're halfway through,
book?
Maybe finish one.
That's what I'm struggling with.
Well, I think maybe you just need to find one you enjoy.
I just need to find shorter books.
Are you reading Sally? Are you reading...
Yes, I'm reading Sally Rooney.
That one, Intermezzo.
Intermezzo, it's good. It's about a love triangle. It's well written.
I feel like you need some more stank if you're gonna.
Just part of me is like, I really like Normal People. Normal People was great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's one. If you start a book and you're like, I think I get it.
That's a ridiculous thing
I get
say.
It's more like you're reading it, you get the vibe. You're like, okay, I get it.
The vibe.
Yeah, you're like, do you know what I mean? Like, I get it. It's going to be the things that are left unsaid. It's going to be about the little subtleties of love and in the modern age, and a tiny bit about the rent crisis in Dublin. You kind of vaguely. If I vaguely get it, that's when I start switching off. I couldn't fucking finish my domestic abuse lesbian book.
You were never going to finish a domestic abuse lesbian.
I did pretty well. I stormed through the first half, and then I was like, this is really great. This is really great. And I was like, is this all going to be just about how nasty your girlfriend is? And and I realised it was. Because it was quite exciting at first. I was like, this seems like it's slowly building up to a really nasty girlfriend.
Yeah.
There she is again, being nasty. Oh. And it's like, fucking hell.
I feel
and then I'd only made it a third of the way through, and I'm like, fuck. It's a lot of whinging
You really are
book.
seeing a book as like a mountain to climb in a lot of these contexts. You need to find one that you enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous to read a few pages and say you know what it's about.
No, I'm going to go back to history books. I can read those. They're fine. Because it's basically just like reading a massive Wikipedia page.
Exactly, yeah. I feel like the novel just isn't for you. Maybe,
yeah, I don't think so.
Which is fine. But then maybe just try one with a good story. Nothing wrong with a good story. You can have good books with good stories.
Yeah, you can.
The last book that I raced through was, do you remember Cherub?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I used to smash
McNabb?
That was like my first introduction to
Is that right?
sexy.
Sex, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is all of our. We're all the
sexy.
same age. We all had the same sexual awakening, which is by the pen of a very unattractive autistic man called Andy McNabb. Take a look at a picture of him. He did a talk at my friend's school. He had a pen protector on his pocket. So he had pens in his top shirt pocket, and then he had like a plastic sort of protector to protect his pocket from the pens.
We get it, you're a writer. It's ridiculous.
But you're introducing young boys to sex, and it's like, yeah, of course it's this guy.
Yeah, that was a big series. I remember
he had us by the balls, didn't he?
He did.
He literally had us by the balls. To be fair, I haven't enjoyed a book as much as Cherub.
Wait, when did you read this? Robert Muchamore.
I was younger. I was a lot younger.
Yeah, it was about like a 14-year-old boy who's also a secret agent who keeps having sex with girls with massive
knockers, I think, yeah.
I mean, it
was James Bond for kids.
Skins. Yeah. It was kind of more like, I felt like it was quite skins for kids.
What? Was it that much? There was a lot more. It was secret agent shit.
Drugs. There was some drugs.
It was secret agent shit amongst that, but it was definitely...
I also think men will turn their nose up at the erotic thriller as something feminine, but I do think he sneaked in the erotic thriller, the kind of the pleasures of the erotic
By
thriller.
hiding it amongst like guns.
Yeah, when in many ways, there is something incredibly horny about just another man's words.
Clip it.
But you know, the erotic thriller.
Yeah. Are
for
you saying
women,
erotic thrillers are erotic?
Yeah, I am. But maybe we should learn something. Maybe we should go back.
Well, maybe that's your next book.
Well, maybe I should either read history books or erotic novels.
But
there's not really
that combination is a red flag in men.
Is there erotic novels for men? I don't think there's a big industry for it.
I don't know. Well, something like 50 Shades of Grey, you can fucking enjoy that.
It's aimed at women.
Yeah, but you can still participate in it, can't you? I know it's
not for. I want Cherub was male gaze through and through.
Yeah, yeah. You want like a harsh POV.
Yeah.
Of like, I looked down, my cock was throbbing. That kind of thing.
Yeah. Whereas like 50 Shades of Grey is he was kind but also cruel. And
there's something I absolutely despise the idea of an erotic novel for me.
Why?
It would be a fucking nightmare.
Why?
Because I don't want to be
boner on the bus.
Yeah. What do you mean? I don't want to be horny while I'm reading. It's a long book. Think about the amount of wanks I'm going to have on that during that book.
But are you
very
closing the book and then going off to have a wank?
And then coming back to the book?
Well, would you come back to the book? Because you wouldn't carry on watching the porn video after you'd finished.
Well, which is kind of my point. Then just like go and watch porn, have a wank.
Are you saying you'd be so like irresistibly horny that you'd be still on page 20? Because every time you read the first paragraph, you go off have a wank and then you're like...
I wouldn't restart it. Just end up at the same place every time. But I just don't... For me, I don't really understand being horny throughout a book.
Well, I guess the erotic novel for a woman, it's because their horniness is more tameable and less intrusive.
Correct. They don't have to bash one out as soon as they read anything that's moderately exciting. Whereas men, I just don't really see how we can work.
Yeah, and I don't think men enjoy titillation as much.
No, it's more like, can I stick it in yet? That's kind of it.
But also, a woman can read an erotic book on the bus.
Yeah.
And it won't... It doesn't mean she'll get fired from the job she's going to.
No one will call the police or... Yeah.
But yeah, if you're doing that on your morning commute,
just fucking rock hard. I don't get it. Any men, for men, I don't get it. I think women's sexuality is different, and I understand that. I can't think of anything more frustrating than reading an erotic novel. Just being, what did you get from that? I was just really horny and wanked quite a lot. Well, that was it. I suppose I don't like, what are you getting at the end of that?
Yeah.
And then they came. Great.
Yeah, I guess if you reading is something to expand your mind, I don't know what you get out of that.
No. Surely you want to kind of get away from your horniness reading a book. you want to push down all the horny thoughts and be like, actually, let's think about the world. Let's think about other people's perspective, not about my cock again.
Maybe the sexy book is for people who think they're above porn. Maybe I think it's for like the learned man. It's like a kind of very civilized.
The thinking man's
porn is for wanking. Is a erotic book for wanking or not? If you're above porn, fine. But like, if you're just using it to have a wank, then I'd say grow the fuck up. But also, I want to see a wank at the end of it. Are you wanking and reading? Are you wanking and reading simultaneously?
I think I'm not.
I'm not either.
But I think some people are. I think some people just like the kind of, once
the titillation.
Once they put their balls in a clamp and they've got the nipple twisters and stuff. They've tried everything. Maybe taking it back to the page.
Literature's the final step.
Yeah, I think so. It's the last taboo for men.
Yeah.
I think if you tap into it, maybe it's much sexier. If you're really in with the words.
Look, it's going to be sexy as fuck. No one's denying that. It was like, why do I want
that? It's not
going
to be hot and steamy.
Why do I want a book to be hot and steamy when I'm reading by myself?
Because it's a higher level. It's a more advanced sexiness.
What, than sex? Than sex with a person?
No, the sex with yourself.
What I wouldn't mind is
but that's ridiculous. We can't have. They should be banned if that's the case.
It's chin strokey wank.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a double stroke.
But
it's stroking it and stroking your chin. That is quite amazing.
It's like having a wank for a month, though. You can't have that long a wank because one, you've got to be doing it during it. Then you've lost the whole. As soon as you have you put the book down and have a wank, then it's no longer a chin strokey wank. You're back to the fucking bottom of society with the rest of us.
The month-long wank by Andrew Cohen. I wouldn't mind forcing someone who's clearly bad at writing or never written before. They have to write 300-page erotic novel.
Yeah.
That would be
To be
quite
honest,
enjoyable.
it's probably quite an accessible thing for people who can't write. Because like you've got your subject matter. Just describe
Well, how would
the
you
sex
write-
is the important part.
Should we write an erotic novel now then? What would you, if you had to write an erotic novel, what would
It
be?
sounded like it's a chore. I think I'd enjoy writing it quite a lot.
Well, you wouldn't be able to fucking finish it because you keep going on to. You'd get so fucking horny writing your own book. Just
Yeah, I'd only be able to get like 20 words done at a time because then I didn't have a wank and
publishers
I'm not in the
are-
mood anymore.
You've missed so many
So many
deadlines.
deadlines. Had a massive advance. Spent it all on porn.
You know those like scenes in a film when a writer's struggling with writer's block. They keep scrunching up the. It's
Yeah.
just all these fucking-
Tissues. Well, to be honest, I don't really know what the...
Well, set the scene.
Set the scene.
You're under pressure. You've been forced to do it, or else your whole family's going to die. You have to write a erotic novel.
Again, how do they keep getting into these scrapes?
It doesn't have to
The
be
amount
good.
of things I've had to do to save my family on this podcast.
Boner on the bus.
Boner on the bus.
I just don't know if that's a really.
It could be.
Oh no! I tell you how you do an erotic. What it would
Okay,
be?
it's a novel about a novel. It's an erotic novel about an erotic novel. The man's on the bus reading an erotic novel. He's got a boner. A woman sees it, and then the stuff goes from there. That's how we can start. They're alone on the top of a double-decker bus.
Lads, you're painting with broad strokes, right? It's got to be.
What do you mean? This is just a
titillating.
setup.
I
That wasn't the book. That was an erotic novel. I've gone, boy on the bus, reading the novel. He's got boner. Girl comes over, wanks him off. It's the story. That's the bit. The rest happens in the writing. You made it.
And she wanked him off. The end. I think it's about a commute, right? Mundane,
Yeah.
the prosaic, right? You're commuting every day, and then you're seeing this woman maybe change. Not change, but I mean her appearance is changing every day. Or you find her sexy immediately. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just this kind of woman who you normally don't think's that sexy, but then she's changing something every day where she's becoming a bit sexier and a bit sexier.
So when does the sex happen? Because like we've
Lads,
got to.
this is the problem, right?
What's the problem?
And we ran into this when we were talking about sexual fantasies. You can't be... The sex is... That's when... That shouldn't maybe even come. It should be about... It's about titillation, my friend.
Well, you're
It's
talking about a
suggestion.
fucking romance novel at the moment. A girl changes her appearance every day. Where does it get sexy? It needs to get sexy. This is an erotic novel. We need to get from your point to my point. Okay. Otherwise, it's a romance novel. A girl changes her appearance every day. Give me more. Then what happens? She drops a pen. You see down the top. You get a shovel.
You like the publisher with like a cigar.
Where's the sex pal? Come on, buddy. I'm paying you for it. I don't know what accent that was. Go on, Charlie.
I think it's like rush. She's changing every day. Something's happened. She's got a scarf on, then she doesn't, etc. And then one day,
Wow. Yeah.
it's rush hour, and then she kind of some kids get off the bus on their way to school,
And her bum vessel.
Pops out.
And, yeah,
She's 80 years old.
and I think she like gets shoved into
Shoved
him.
into you.
And then you're like, sorry, and she's like, no, that's.
Her bottom gently
She-
caresses his penis.
But she really doesn't like it.
The amount of synonyms you need for penis in an erotic novel must be enough. She
She
doesn't
is-
like it.
Yeah, but not in a kind of non-consensual.
Christ. The problem we're bone on the bus. The problem is that we're really trying to avoid sexual assault in a lot of different ways there. I just suppose the erotic novel is gonna, that's an issue anyway, but you know, you've got to keep it steamy. You don't want it to be, there can't be too much consent implied, otherwise it's not fucking sexy. Don't quote me on that. Well, that's like, if you consent at the start of an erotic novel, there's no more eroticism to have. It's like, I want to have sex with you too. Well, that's end of the sexiness, isn't it? Did you need the foreplay?
Yeah.
I think she's kind of very awkward, but it's unclear. She maybe feels like she kind of is into it, but also it's very hard to tell. But she kind of brushes into you.
Wow.
You apologize.
Hello.
She's like, no worries at all.
And
But
she
then
grabs his dick.
She looks away.
Let him cook.
She looks away, and then they go their separate ways, and he gets lunch. And then the next day,
It's
Yeah.
lunch.
he gets a burger. And then next day,
No burgers in the erotic novel.
he gets a really
A hot dog, maybe.
wet burger. And then the next day she comes back on and he apologizes profusely because he gets into his head. He thinks that she thinks that he's done all of that on purpose and set up the push. But
Christ,
and
that's
then
very
she's
paranoid.
like, it's okay, relax. And then he's okay, well, I just wanted to let you know that. And then they take about a month off.
What, getting on the bus?
Yeah.
Right.
he has to take himself out.
He's got to go somewhere for business.
He's found it very traumatic. And
It's all about this one moment of a push that's...
yeah, I think it's like, but
So he has to take a month off from the bus.
and she really worries. She's kind of there on the bus, like thinking about him every day. So then you switch the perspective, and it's her now.
Right.
Tits and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Masturbating in the bath.
in the dark. Yeah. And then I think
We get the female perspective. There I was, fudding myself silly in the bath.
I don't think there's enough of a sex meet cute.
And then we go straight back to the man.
Yeah.
Like it's a paragraph on her and it's just masturbating.
A really well-written paragraph about what she's feeling and the experience of being a woman, and straight back to the man. It's not enough of a sex meet cute. Like at the moment, all they've done is bumped on a bus. There's too much titillating. We need to get into
He's
something.
reading a newspaper, right?
There's a hole cut in it. Look at this, love.
As a passing comment at the end of this scene, she mentions the date at the top of the newspaper. Do you know what that date was? September the 11th, 2001. Where was he going to work? The top of the World Trade Center.
Now it's a thriller book, almost.
I don't know. I feel I've done a lot of work there.
okay, so 9/11.
I don't think anyone... I don't think we know what a erotic novel is, in fairness. I think it's
He
somewhere...
works at the World Trade Center, and it's in the sexy backdrop is 9/11. Thank you very much.
Trump
That-
lives.
My boner is there as well.
Yeah, well, although Trump is much like a boner on the bus.
As in,
He might be
returns.
unwelcome, but he might be able to spunk it still.
Yeah, even if he retreats, he may come back stronger than ever.
Why does a boner on a bus retreat?
Because it gets less...
After he's come?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
then
he
he'll
might
come
be
back for
like-
more.
yeah, comes
Second
back.
helpings.
Yeah.
That's much like this
Is there
presidency.
anything that is more about a resurrection or a return than the boner?
Boner on the bus. Subscribe to the Patreon.